Where do you stay at?
Oh, block.
What do you do for a living?
Bang, bang.
What's your name?
Sosa.
$14 million. That is what Chief Keef's mansion in the California hills is worth right now. Fountain in the front yard, Lamborghini in the driveway, recording studio down the hall, mountain views out the back. And this is the same kid who was on house arrest in his grandmother's living room in Chicago just over a decade ago, with no label, no budget, and nowhere to go. The come-up does not get more dramatic than this. Keith Farrell Cozart, born August 15, 1995, grew up in the Parkway Garden homes on Chicago's South Side, a public housing complex so rough the streets renamed it O Block. His grandmother Margaret Carter raised him on a school bus driver's salary. His biological father was never in the picture. What he did have was a karaoke machine his mom left behind and a gift for rap that showed up when he was 5 years old, borrowing blank tapes from neighbors just to hear his own voice played back. That was the beginning. By his early teens, the streets were pulling at him. At 16, he ended up on house arrest at his grandmother's home after an incident with police. No studio access, no label, no budget. Just a teenager, legally confined to a house in one of the most dangerous zip codes in America. Most kids in that situation fold. Keith turned that house into a studio. He shot the music video for I Don't Like right there in that living room. No set design, no budget, no director. Just him and his crew dancing and rapping in front of a camera because the song was too real to sit on. The video looked exactly like what it was, a kid from the hood doing what he loves with what he had. And that rawness is exactly what made the internet lose its mind. I Don't Like hit Chicago first, then spread block to block, high school to high school, city to city. The drill sound, that dark, heavy production from Young Chop, the deadpan delivery, the street-coded lyrics. It was unlike anything mainstream hip-hop had heard before. Then Kanye West heard it. Kanye, also from Chicago, understood immediately what he was listening to. This was not just a hot record. This was a generational sound. So he remixed the track himself, pulling in Big Sean, Pusha T, and Jadakiss, and dropped it to the world. Overnight, Chief Keef went from a 16-year-old on house arrest in O Block to every major label in America lining up outside his grandmother's door. Young Jeezy, Def Jam, Atlantic, a full bidding war over a teenager who legally could not leave his block. They waited, let the offers stack, and went with Interscope Records. $6 million across 3 albums plus $440,000 to launch his own imprint, Glory Boys Entertainment. A kid who was borrowing blank tapes to record his voice, now signing a multi-million-dollar deal. His debut album, Finally Rich, dropped in December 2012. Love Sosa, Hate Being Sober, peaked in the top 30 of the Billboard 200. The drill sound was officially on the global stage. One of his first moves with that money was a 6,000-square-foot mansion in Highland Park, Illinois. 6 bedrooms, home theater, views of Lake Michigan. But that chapter collapsed fast. By 2014, he was roughly $30,000 behind in rent, and eviction notices hit. Most people would go quiet, retreat, regroup privately. Sosa posted 2 words on Instagram, "Sky is the limit," and announced he was moving to California. No apology, no explanation, just a rebrand executed in real time. He landed in the San Fernando Valley, Woodland Hills, Tarzana Corridor. Gated driveways, mountain views, quiet streets, celebrity neighbors. The exact opposite of where he came from. And he built from there. The crown jewel is the Woodland Hills estate, valued at up to $14 million. 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, Mediterranean architecture, gated entrance, a working fountain in the front yard. Not decorative, functional, and very intentional for a man who grew up in public housing. The living space is wide open with cathedral ceilings and a layout that breathes money quietly. But what actually separates this property from regular luxury real estate is what Keef built into it. There is a full professional recording studio inside the house, not a corner with a microphone, an actual studio setup. For an artist who consistently drops multiple projects per year, that is not a luxury, that is infrastructure. No booking fees, no hourly rates, no scheduling around other artists. Just walk down the hall at 3 a.m. when the idea hits and press record. The backyard runs full. Pool, jacuzzi, fire pit, basketball court, all of it sitting under California mountain views. After a 2018 break-in attempt at his Tarzana property where a suspect fired at responding officers, He locked his California footprint down tight on security. That was the moment the compound became a fortress. The garage is where the money becomes impossible to miss. The centerpiece is a custom Scooby-Doo themed Lamborghini Urus. Full custom wrap, custom interior, executed on a $250,000 Italian SUV. It broke the internet before he said a single word about it. That is brand marketing most companies cannot buy. Alongside it sits a Lamborghini SVJ, 759 horsepower, only 900 ever produced worldwide, sitting around $580,000. A Rolls-Royce Cullinan for when he wants to arrive without saying a word. A Ferrari SF90, Ferrari's hybrid hypercar, 986 combined horsepower, 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. A Mercedes-Benz AMG G63, and a Dodge Challenger Hellcat Red-Eye, rounding out the American muscle end. The collection spans every energy: exotic, luxury, performance, muscle, and it rotates as the era evolves. Now here is where the numbers need context. Chief Keef's estimated net worth sits around $4 million as of 2025. That number surprises people given the $14 million property and the garage full of exotic cars. The gap exists because net worth is assets minus liabilities, and he is running a full operation. 9 children means documented child support obligations that have shown up in court filings across his career. Property taxes on a $14 million California estate are significant annually. Insuring a collection of Lamborghinis and Ferraris adds up fast. Specialized maintenance on Italian supercars does not happen at a neighborhood shop. The lifestyle has real overhead. What matters is the income architecture behind all of it. He earns between $40,000 and $85,000 per show. On a busy run, 10 shows brings in $400,000 just for doing what he has done since he was a teenager. Feature verses reportedly run around $150,000 per track. The rate you charge when other artists know your voice adds credibility that money alone cannot manufacture. His label, 43B, gives him complete ownership and control over his music in a way the Interscope deal never could. When you own your masters and run your own label, you are the corporation. The money comes directly to you. His catalog generates streaming royalties every month. Love Sosa has been played hundreds of millions of times since 2012, and it does not stop. Glow Gang expanded from a music collective into a full clothing brand with a loyal global customer base, adding another revenue stream. Brand partnerships and sponsorships reportedly pull 6 figures per deal. Multiple streams feeding the same operation means no single one can collapse the whole structure. The cultural weight underneath all of this is what converts into financial staying power. More than a decade in, younger artists across every lane of rap still name Chief Keef as a direct reference. For the delivery, the attitude, the independent mindset, the drill sound he carried out of Chicago and handed to the world. His cadence has been borrowed so many times it stopped being an influence and became a fundamental element of the genre itself. Glow Gang has become a worldview. People get the tattoos, name their crews after it. That is not a brand anymore. That is legacy. And legacy is the kind of equity that does not show up on a balance sheet, but absolutely shows up in every room his name enters. Chief Keef is 30 years old. He started rapping at 5. He went viral at 16. He changed the sound of hip-hop at 17. He has been through a major label deal, a label drop, evictions, legal battles, and more than a few moments where the story could have ended very differently. Through all of it, he kept building. The California chapter has been the most stable and expansive chapter of his life. Real estate appreciating, catalog compounding, and label operational, influence growing. From borrowing blank tapes in O-Block to owning $14 million worth of California hills. He drew the blueprint himself, and he held the pen the whole time. Drop a comment. What is your favorite era of Chief Keef's catalog?